Very exciting day today. I'm actually on location at someone else's garden. This is Dr. Frank's, the Garden of Eden. What makes this very unique, it's done in all pots. Everything you see here is actually a potted community. So for you people that live in an urban area, this is especially for you, how to maximize space. We're going to interview Dr. Frank and see what his techniques are to produce such a beautiful garden. Dr. Frank, thank you for having us at your home today on location. I always ask somebody, what got you into gardening?
You know, when I was a little kid, my grandparents and actually my great-grandmother had a garden. I remember as a little kid being in the yard with her. And I don't know, I guess that's what inspired me to turn into doing my Garden of Eden right here.
And what's one of your best tips that you could give? You told me your grandfather developed this tip with the clam shells. What do you actually do?
Here's what we used to do. He'd put clam shells around here to protect the root, because when you water, people have a tendency of watering right on the root, pushing all the soil away, and bugs will get in. It adds calcium slowly to the soil, but it also protects the stem and the root so you don't get any bugs or any soil washing away.
Let me ask you another question. With tomato plants, does that also protect the root from burning like a little canopy?
It does. It's shelter, and it's very protective, and it just keeps everything nice and healthy.
Perfect. Cuzzy, how do your tomatoes in a pot already look so exceptional compared to everybody else's in this area?
These are the sweet 100s. They're little cherry tomatoes. And what I end up doing is, I put them in the pots, but as they start to grow, you have to know when to cut off what's known as the suckers.
And what is a sucker? Could you show me?
It's a branch. It's a part here that's got all the leaves on it, but it's never going to produce any fruit. And they're nice because the green leaves act as the solar panels when they create the chlorophyll that help for the growth.
So it does act like a canopy of shade a little bit for it too.
It helps to protect them, but you do need all the green in here. But here's what happens. Come in close. This stem right here is never going to grow anything, but in here it will. Look at these guys already growing off of it. So what I'll do as it grows up, I'll cut these off because they're taking all the water and all the nutrients.
And you're really looking for that little piece right there.
Correct.
That is your growth.
That's going to flower up into here and eventually produce.
Good.
So the little yellow flowers are each going to turn into a small little grape or cherry tomato that you see here.
Awesome.
Some larger ones down the bottom already growing.
Now I notice on your bigger tomatoes you have some white powder in the bottom of these cans. What is this stuff and why?
It's not the white powder you're thinking. When you get nice tomatoes like this, sometimes you pick them, they're red. The bottom has that black rot on them.
I totally know what you mean.
Which these do not. The way you prevent that is that's a lack of calcium in the soil.
Wow, I always thought that was just over moisture and it was causing it to rot.
Lack of calcium. So what I do is I go to CVS, I buy their cheap antacids, I grind up Tums in a food processor, and I put them around the roots of the tomatoes maybe every 3 weeks.
There is the tip of the day, garden tip of the day. Tums around your tomato plants from Dr. Frank.
No black rot on the tomatoes.
Your basil leaves are unbelievable. How do you get them that big?
Look at the size of this leaf. I think a big part of the magic of this garden is the fact that it's concrete surrounded and we're underground. So it keeps the heat in all the time. Look at already, we're on day 45. Look at the zucchini.
And what he means by day 45, most gardens turn over in 90 days. He's already turning his garden over in half the time, which is unbelievable.
I think it's the heat. It's just a perfect situation here.
For all you urban gardeners that like to grow out of pots, this is an exceptional garden. Usually you don't get a yield like this. This is very unique. And Dr. Frank has something special for us. He just picked a cucumber today.
Here we are again. From my garden to yours. Bon appetit.
Delicious. That's our Dr. Frank special.